morning, traders. I am Stephen Davis, Senior Market Strategist, Ardeo Futures, downtown Chicago. Happy Friday to everybody. We're here to talk about the grain markets. Okay, the corn market. And exports are really, really important. So we talk about them every week, and this week's exports on corn were very weak. So a little bit unfortunate here the last few weeks because we do have a lot of U.S. corn to sell to the world. So let's look for these export price pace and price of corn to pick up here in the weeks ahead as we move into the end of the year. There's a lot of talk, a lot of chatter about more corn acres in 2019, and how does the corn market help that happen? Trade to higher prices. Okay, the soybean market. 30 cents higher yesterday on a tweet from our President Trump saying that things are a little bit grandiose with the Chinese president and the trade tariffs a little bit easing here, and they're maybe going to be resolved. And certainly this is good politics going into our elections here in a couple of days. So 30 cents higher yesterday. You want to see follow through. We were 20 cents higher here overnight. Now we're a few cents higher. So it'll be important to see where we close for the week. Nonetheless, every week I get on here and state, this is the wrong time of year to be short these markets. And the managed funds were short soybeans here. Maybe they saw my video a week or two ago. They won't be short much longer with moves like this. So I think a good commentary is don't chase rallies in these soybeans, but it's the time of year for prices to raise higher. I think the soybean meal, the China demand for soybean meal and their soybean crush rates here in the next few weeks are going to be really, really critical for the price of soybean. So China, USA, this is the big concern of soybean demand here in our world. And China has been sourcing all their soybeans from Brazil. And does China really want to do that? I mean, it's just a common sense approach. Brazil has a new president now. Their old president is in prison. Their roads over there in Brazil are not paved. It's like a third world country. Do you really want to rely on your protein source for that type? And I would say no. I think it's just a common sense answer. So look for China to buy U.S. soybeans here as we go into the end of the year, and seasonally this is a strong year for a strong time of the year now, November and December for soybean. All right, we're looking at weekly charts this week. So our first chart is a weekly chart of corn. You can see we're in the kind of the middle of the range for corn for the week. Corn's not sure what it wants to do, I think. And then we're putting on a weekly soybean meal chart here in front of you today. I like this chart. Look at how we got a reversal up. If soybean meal closes to the extreme high this afternoon, my work states higher soybean meal prices in the next 10 days, something like that. So exports are key. They were very tepid again this week in soybeans, so we got to look for this to improve. And then lastly, the wheat market here. Not a lot to talk about. You can see a weekly chart on wheat. We did take out last week's high, so that's something. And perhaps Russia is going to run out of wheat that they're selling to the world here, and that would open up an avenue for U.S. wheat exports to the world. Okay, lastly, my readings this week, Core LLC, a big hedge fund, $4 billion hedge fund. He likes commodities in here, and the reason he likes it is the world economic growth. And I agree with this. We got unemployment this morning, 250,000 non-farm payroll jobs, 3.7 unemployment rate. These are good numbers. And the world's growing, and hence the demand for commodities. This Core LLC, he picked out coffee and sugar and natural gas. And certainly coffee's been moving higher, sugar's been moving lower, and perhaps some of these grain markets that we talk about are going to be some of the winners going forward. Everybody have an excellent weekend.